now I'm sitting behind rack 2. Here's the power cable that goes and powers the whole rack, including the converters and the DSP. And the power cable comes up through the floor, through this strain relief in the floor, to the main contactor. And then the contactor powers the transformer, and the primary terminals are on the top. Coming off the primary as well are these orange power supplies. So as soon as this contactor comes on, these power supplies power the DSPs. So that means that the transformer has to be energized for the DSPs to come on. The next thing to consider is if you only want to program the DSPs, then you don't need any of the converters powered. This contactor controls the input to the active front end, which comes straight off the primary or transformer secondary. So the transformer secondary goes to this breaker, which goes to the input to the active front end. All the other converters are in series, so if we disconnect this breaker in the off position, then that'll kill power to all converters, and we can program the DSP by itself without anything else energized, which could cause a problem if all of the switches came on during a reprogram. We wouldn't want that to happen, so just de-energize all the converters, but with the contactor you can still program the DSP. So right now I'm going to take the plug and plug it into this connection right here. And if you look on the label, it says circuit 20, 22, and 24. And now we'll go over to the circuit breaker panel and turn that breaker on. We're now standing in front of the breaker panel. You can open that by simply pushing on the bottom. And that opens like that. Okay, so we had breaker 20, 22, and 24. Which are these 3 poles. Turn that on. And then that just energized the plug back over on the test bed. Right over here. The next step in programming the DSP is take your USB cable here, and you can reach inside, and there's a USB connector on the DSP board that sits on top of the interface. Plug that in. We already turned on the breaker, so we can push the green button, and that'll turn on the contactor in the base, and you can hear the transformer turn on. Now I'm at my computer. I have my USB connector plugged in, and I have my control code already set up for the Rack 2 DSP. And now I can go up to the top, and there's a little bug that says debug DSP underscore program. When you click it, go ahead and click that. It'll build the code and then flash the DSP. It'll go through erasing the flash sectors. A through H. Load the program. And now it's completed the flash, and you can start debugging if you want, or if you just wanted to program it into the flash so that when you reboot it, it'll start again. You can simply turn off the DSP. It doesn't matter. You don't have to do anything from here. So I'm going to hit the red button to turn off the rack. You can hear the USB sound on Windows that the USB device went away. So the DSP is off. I can hit the terminate to get away from the screen. And unplug my USB. And then you can turn the rack back on, and the DSP will have, it will start in the main with the program that you just flashed.